everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to today's episode of Let's Do This.
Yes.
We are very excited about today.
Yes, we are.
As we promised and as we've been hyping up, we got the fellas waiting outside in the lobby. So make sure that you share this. At Let's Do This radio talk show, we are primarily for business. But as you have seen over the last couple of months, we have been focusing on everything. So we talk about the full aspect of the entire person. So we talk about different things from beauty, finances, and also love. And that's what we're focusing on tonight. You know, we have been in this whole February series where we have been talking about love. So in the love series, we jumped around about various things. We talked about online dating. We talked about, what else we talked about earlier? We talked about
You mean
doing the series?
The topics.
Oh yeah, online dating.
Boaz,
yes,
Bozo and Boaz,
yes,
and then things. What a woman wants.
Yes.
What a woman
So
wants.
that brings us to this week where we are going to be talking about what men want. But as you know, we are ladies, so we can't tell you what the men want. So we have the men, they're looking through the glass right now. Some of them are looking online. We see y'all out there. But yeah, so they're going to come in and we have some questions for them where we are going to ask them what they want. So they're going to tell us. So get your questions together. But we also going to do our introductions as we do. So Trina looking happy and ready. So we're going to start with Trina.
I'm pretty in pink today. But,
Yes.
I just want to. I'm gonna make it real quick. Of course, I am the owner and founder of the Global Next Gen Event Center, where we host engagements, book signings, baby showers, any type of event. You have it. You name it, we have it. Also, wanted to give a shout out. My baby turned 19 this weekend on Sunday. So, you know, that's what my weekend was with family, friends, and we celebrate our baby girl birthday. So I'm going to turn it over to Bernie.
Come on, Bernie.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bernadette Bronner from BB Coaching and Consulting. I empower women through empowerment life coaching. I also have my nonprofit, Sisters Helping Empower Each Other, where we do a lot of community endeavors, helping the community through backpack campaigns, women transition homes, anything to help. And we also volunteer with different organizations to improve and impact our communities. That's all I'm going to say for right now.
All right.
We got to get to
this.
Yes, we all like.
So I'm your girl, Adrene Howard Peterson, and I am the CEO and founder of Delivering on Ideas and Thoughts. Do it. In my capacity, I help coach and I help train people in terms of their business and also their career. That's all I'm saying today. We are ready to jump into it. We have a full agenda that's ready for you all. Of course, you all know that the title is What Men Want. Yeah. We keep saying that, what men want. Right. So we're going to talk about the movie a little bit. Just go into it real quickly. And then we're going to have the men to come on. And then we're going to have the battle of the sexes. So Trina got a treat for us. You know how we normally do girl tea? Right. We're going to switch it around a little bit. So make sure y'all share this out.
And participate. We want to hear what you have to say, especially when the guys take over.
Yes. So let's talk about the movie a little bit. Okay. The movie was interesting, so I saw it twice. Okay. And for me, it was like four pieces of it that I really like. Got the message of it. Okay. Love Taraji, that's my girl. So the movie was okay. Yeah, it was okay. If I had to give it a rating out of 5, I would give it like a 3.5.
I say 3. And I say wait until they come online somewhere. Don't go.
I'm gonna say without my comment.
Yeah, what you think?
So I saw it this weekend.
Okay.
When we had our topic, y'all put the topic out. I said, okay, let me go see the movie. It was not. I don't know if it's where I am now, but it was just a lot of foolishness. I just wasn't with that. I did have takeaways with the movie. Taraji, like you said, that's my girl. She played her role. The good thing is it just goes to show you every day what goes on in the men's heads through the workplace and just as we're in their company and things like that. So that was a good thing. And then her date. The guy. Yes. He made some very profound statements. I think he really glued me in with the movie, but I get a movie 2 stars. I'm sorry, it just wasn't.
Okay.
It just wasn't for me.
I probably gave her an extra star because she's from Southeast DC.
Because the wedding was a mess, and I'm like,
but it also, although the wedding was a mess, I think it was so like telling, because these are the things that really go on.
It is.
So the whole aspect of this man just cheated, thinking about cheating and all that, and then the cousin admitting to it, this stuff really goes on like for real, but it's in silence. So I was okay with that.
I think it's the way it went down.
Yeah,
it was revealed, which was good.
Right.
But just when they started fighting and all that,
I want to know. I want to know before I get into a relationship. Ain't the other lady? I want to know if my husband's sucking on something else before I get into that. That's what the movie was. I mean, hey, it's a grown folk show, so I mean that's what we're doing tonight.
Kids to be at 7.
So yeah. So
go ahead, Vern.
The other piece of it also was the sleeping scene. So that was funny when she was like overly,
just like overly. And I hope that's in our question box today.
Yeah. But then like the other flip side of it is when she was able to read his mind.
Yeah.
He was extremely satisfied.
Well, it wasn't just that. It wasn't. She was taking the role of a man. She wanted to lead, and I understand she was in a man's world in the corporate world,
correct.
But she seemed like she didn't know how to be a lady.
Balance it, correct.
When she was with her man, that's what I was looking at. She was so used to being so high strung and trying to be the lead of everything. She didn't know how to be a lady and be taken care of.
Exactly.
That's what I got out of that.
Yeah. So I can go with that. I can really go with that as well.
Yes.
So anything else about the movie before we switch over?
Another a scene was when she was faking like she was a family person. She really wasn't. So we have to be careful when we dating or courting someone, whether or not they really serious about you if you have children. So that's things that you have to, I think, look at and think about, because you don't want to be with someone that really doesn't like your children or your child, and you bring them into your space. That could be very dangerous.
Right. That was I like his point, and Trina was alluding to that earlier. I really liked the point when he did that. So that was a very a piece of information where all of the other things, I mean, it was meant to be funny, so there's going to be some funny but in terms of a message, that was one that was definitely like a message.
Yeah. And I like the fact that the gentleman, I really pretty much had I liked his role. You know, he was a single dad. He had just lost his wife. Right. You know, so that brought a whole nother spin to the movie as well. It just goes to show you that there's strong, you know, committed fathers out here that's willing to take on their son. And I fell in love with the son. I fell in love with the son.
He was real cute.
So that was that's thumbs up.
So Trina about to get mad, but the son was a little freaky a little bit. Because, hold on, let me out. When he had the underwear on his head, he was like, I like your mask. Then later on, he was like, I knew it wasn't a mask.
Right. He probably was he was being funny, being sarcastic. Like, y'all think y'all think I don't know what y'all doing, but I knew what y'all was doing.
That was my way of saying, like, he was sure he got some new,
Trina like, what you get ready to say, Trina?
Because when we try to keep it real, Trina was like, oh my God.
To her defense, I just think we can say it a different way.
I ain't got no cut cards right now, but okay.
That's all I'm saying.
He was whatever you want to say.
Right. Okay. I get you. I get both of y'all, but you know.
All right. So any comments from online about the movie?
Anything coming in?
Let me see. I got to put my eyes on.
Yeah. So while we're doing that, as we getting ready to transition,
my teacher said she loved the movie.
Okay.
And I noticed my daughter did too. Dania, she loved it. She was like, "Oh, I loved it, Mom." And I think it's me.
My daughter did too.
Yes, it was me, my age, where I'm at. I was just expecting something a little more balanced.
Me too. And I had to go see it twice so I can make sure I come back and report something another day.
So that's what I think it was. You know, just a matter of
it was some funny parts.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we're gonna
There's
go
some lessons learned, and
it most definitely.
Yeah,
most
and then at the
definitely
end, I like that. And look, this was something else. Her father was in her life. Her father was the one that raised her. So I'm wondering if she was so hard because
he wanted a boy.
He wanted a boy, and then he had her.
Good point.
Yeah,
good point. Good takeaway, Vern. Good takeaway. Yes,
was acting so hard with her man. So
and they said that those were some points that they actually brought out. But all right, enough of that. Enough of the movie. Enough of all of that. So we're going to do what we came here to do. We're going to take a quick commercial, and we will come back on the other side with the men.
Fellas,
with the men. Yes. So, all right, so let's go to commercial. Let's Do This radio talk show. Advertisement and sponsorship opportunity. If you have a service, product, event, or initiative that you would like to promote, connect with us at Let's Do This. We are offering various sponsorships. We also have opportunities for 60-second ads and 10-minute takeover segments. Of course, this is in addition to our VIP guests. So check out our website, www.letsdothisradiotalkshow.com for more information. The nonprofit component of Delivering on Ideas and Thoughts, Do It, has launched the I Am the Legacy campaign. This campaign takes the often heard statement, I want to leave a legacy for my children and my children's children, to another level. It encourages us all as a community to invest in our children now and put them on track to start building legacies now. The I Am the Legacy campaign consists of 3 components: a youth business pitch contest, a youth conference and symposium, and a youth anthology book project. To register, sponsor, donate, or volunteer, go to the website www.iamthelegacy.org. That's www.iamthelegacy.org. Follow me, Ladrine Howard Peterson, on Facebook, and Do It Delivers on Instagram. All right, y'all. So we are back. We're back. We got the fellas on the stage with me. So we done switched out the women for these nice eye candy fellas. So y'all ready?
Are they ready? Sure.
Oh! See, already starting talking trash.
Ready.
This is the type of show that we are going to have. So we are going to allow brief introductions. We're going to start with Alonzo Tate. So let me just say a little bit here. So y'all remember that one show that I had, and at the end, I got kind of messed up, and I started saying that I had a distraction. So it's a clear window in front of me. This distraction number 1 right here. So we're going to go ahead, tell them about yourself, do a quick intro.
Thank you.
Welcome.
As she said, my name is Alonzo Tate. I'm glad to be here. I'm a personal trainer. My company is called BVU Fitness. We aspire to everybody be the best version of themselves. So.
Okay.
All right. My name is Frederick Marsh. I am an artist, a creative person. I do web development, and a very happily married man.
Awesome.
No, that's right. Yeah, my name is Keith Bullock. I'm a bus operator for WMATA, now newly elected Financial Secretary Treasurer of Local 689. Go Local 689. The labor movement moves on.
All right. So we're ready. So you all make sure you chime in with your questions, but we're going to go ahead and jump into it with some questions that we have. So I want to give a big shout out to my girl, LaRaba Sly. She and I worked together to come up with these questions. So we hope y'all ready.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
They've been talking a whole bunch of little, trash a little bit. And this special one right here, you didn't see his pictures on the flyers or whatever. He was like, I'd rather not show my picture. So it was a mystery man. I didn't know who he was and what he came to do, but we're about to find out right now. So, all right, let's jump into it. So the first question, what are the top 3 things do you look for or want in a woman?
Let's go. For me, I would have to say loyalty.
Okay.
Hold on. Is it looks on the table too. I mean,
hey, anything goes.
It better be on the table.
I mean, for me,
It better be on the table.
I know you was all like characteristics.
No, anything at all.
Well, number one, definitely looks.
Okay.
I mean, because that's what's going to bring me to the table.
Okay.
After that, loyalty and honesty.
Okay.
All right, I will go with being attractive, being confident in who you are, being an excellent communicator, and having some kind of goals for yourself.
Okay, that was full, but I still take that.
Going last is going to be tough because
Go
they're going
ahead.
to take some of the good ones.
You can repeat them. You can repeat them.
But you know what? Being smart, very smart and intelligent is sexy to me.
Okay.
Of course, as Alonzo's talked about, good looks, you got to make the eyes, get stuck a little bit.
Right.
When it comes to something like, But and also just being yourself and being confident in who you are.
Like that. Okay. So, next question. Can you handle your woman or spouse making more money than you? We don't got to go in that order. Speak up, anybody.
I know.
Yes, because I've had people ask me that question before, and my thing is when guys say they can't handle that, and I'm like, okay, so let's say your woman hit the lotto the next day, you gonna leave her? So my thing is, if she makes things comfortable, it's all good. If she's like, hey, I'm the pants wearer, or it's my way or the highway because I make the money. Well, that's not a money issue. That's a her issue.
Come on now. I like that. I like that.
And for me, I've never understood that. I've always hoped that a person that I'm dealing with is the same with success or without success. It's all how you handle success, but making more money is definitely not an issue for me. Hey, the more the merrier, the better we can live.
Okay.
You would have asked me this question 2 years ago, it would have been definitely no. Only because it's a pride thing for me. I grew up where my father, being a sole breadwinner, so for me, it equated a lot to, who I am and what I could bring to the table. But I've evolved a little bit more,
Okay,
the past
like
2 years. So, it's not an issue. It's not an issue.
Okay. All right, fellas. Y'all doing a little something up here. So, how about, do men prefer women to lead or take charge for planning vacations, house bills, and or selecting where to go on dates?
Well, I would say this. Based upon your, I guess I don't know if I want to say strengths or weaknesses,
right?
But based upon the rhythm of y'all relationship and how y'all set everything up.
Mm-hmm.
I can say from my past experience, that was my situation. I was married now and divorced, but at that time that was her role. But I think over time, it can be a problem.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, but it's how things are set up.
I think it depends on that man, right? Because if he feels that he takes pride in showing leadership and wants to do that across the board, he may have an issue with that. If you all are a partnership, then you do things together no matter who brings the idea first, you discuss it anyway. It really comes down to how you communicate and about that individual, how this one person goes about choosing, how they, do they just pop up out of nowhere and say, hey, I just spent $5,000 on a cruise, let's go. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, but we owe some money to the, so there's some leeway in there, but it really comes down to that man and how his confidence too about what being a provider and what a leader is to him.
Okay.
I'll say for me personally, I'm very much unorganized.
Okay.
When it comes to most things. So for me, in my past relationships, one of the things I find sexy is a woman who's very organized. She's a planner. I'm more of a person to act off of impulse. So
Okay.
I appreciate that personally, yeah.
Okay, you're a little bit young, but I got that trait. But anyway, the next one is, would you still... No. Back this one up. Do you prefer the woman to take lead or take charge in the bedroom? Or do you, as a man, prefer to take the lead?
Why's it got to be one way all the time?
Hey, we in agreement with that. I'm definitely in agreement with that.
Hey, that's your answer and you sticking with it?
Take the lead. Well, take it from me. You wanted that. Prove it. I don't believe.
I mean, I feel that women forget men want to feel wanted too. And that's an important part of being in a relationship, that you sometimes make the move on the man sometimes and not always the other way around. It makes for an exciting, like you said, I think it motivates the situation. And I think the more you're into it on both sides, it gets better.
All right now.
I concur. I would say, I think naturally, by nature, where God is on us as men, naturally we come to the table wanting to please. But like you said, my brother, I think both sides of the spectrum. Yeah.
All right, y'all hear that, lady? So that whole Taraji scene might be all right for these fellas right here.
Well, I don't know about that.
Choking them.
Hold up, yeah, right. I can't do the mid-death joint. Nah.
And this goes both ways, right? Mm-hmm. When you want us to take the lead, you want us to be good at what we're doing.
Yeah.
Don't be taking the lead and falling out like leaving something left on the table.
That's good.
I'm gonna speak for my ladies. I think we're good when we take lead. I think we're good with that. Next question.
I guess they're going to sleep first.
Would you say what? Say what? No. Speak up.
No, that's not right.
You said going to sleep first.
Yeah, well, you take the lead in that.
We put y'all to sleep too. Anyway, the next question is: would you still respect the woman after having a one night stand? You don't have to answer, but that's the question. And could you see yourself in a long term relationship with her?
That's something I equate to a woman making more money. I mean, situations such as that, I'm more of the individual. I'm into the individual and getting to know that person. The physical side of it is just that. It's a lot more to a relationship than that. So that definitely doesn't cancel it out for me.
Okay.
Like I said, be who you are, do what you do, and if I like it, then I'll stay. I'll come around more. But no, that's definitely not the deal breaker.
Okay.
Well, a one night stand is for one night. So it doesn't matter whether if it's a one night stand. But in all reality, I don't think anyone should be, disrespected for any reason. But I don't think what you would probably do is put yourself in a category, and that would be in entertainment. One night stand is entertainment. I don't know you. You don't know me. You have willingly put yourself in a position of entertainment. I don't think you can really look for anything more than that.
Okay, and I get that. Definition of one night stand, totally with that. But what if it starts off as a one night stand? You bump into the person later on. Y'all have a discussion. Do you think that one night stand will impact your ability to have a serious relationship with someone?
Yep.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. We got one freak over here and two non-freaks. So I'm going to play.
Keep the freak
I'm playing. All right. So the next one. The minute you meet someone, do you know right away if she's the one?
Wow.
If you are confident in what the one is for you, then yes, you can probably define that and say, hey, this person, and you asked us how many top 3 qualities? Mm-hmm. If I feel like that's what defines the one for me, I can find that out pretty quick.
Okay.
But if I'm not sure, then nope.
Okay.
That right there, I don't know. That's kind of tricky. You always feel like when you see something you like and you don't know anything about it, you think, hey, this situation is good. Right. Mm-hmm. But then as things start to transpire, then you realize, well, it ain't as great as I thought it would be. So that's kind of tricky. But like I said, man, depending upon the person, if things work out, you follow it.
Okay.
For me, I would have to take it back to high school. I had a high school crush, and we ended up bumping into each other years later when I was probably like about 25 or something. So for me, she was the one that got away. So that's the only one I can, point to that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So okay. I got a little bit mixed up, but I got you. So, what would you tell your younger self about life in general?
Embrace the process.
Don't take time for granted.
Man, like he said, that embrace the process, the successes in the journey. Be patient, man. Enjoy your life. It's going to come to you. We all know if you have the drive to work hard and strive for better, it's going to come if that's what's in you. But enjoy every minute, every day of your life to the fullest. I mean, the good and the bad times, because you're going to have those, because there are teachable moments on both sides. So definitely.
Okay, Mr. B.
I heard somebody say, live your life like it's your last day living, because one day you're going to be right.
How about that? How about that? How about that? Okay, so we talked about in general about you talking to your younger self. What would you say to your younger self about love and relationships? Okay, I like that side. Think about it for a minute. Think about it for a minute. What would you tell your younger self about love and relationships?
Be open to vulnerability.
That's
been a hard one for me, so I can be honest about that.
Yeah. I would say being more in tune with yourself and what you want. You know, it may sound a little selfish in that regard, but if you're in a relationship with a woman and you don't know what you want, and you kind of got to have a sense of which way you want this thing to go. Don't allow a person to come in and dictate that for you. That means your situation will kind of resemble what's inside of you, more so than you falling behind what someone else is doing, because you might find yourself in something you don't want to be in.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's selfish at all. That came up on the flip side when the women were talking, and I think Bernie made an excellent point about that, about making sure that you take care of yourself and you find yourself, so that you make sure that you're whole and you're not bringing in any extra baggage. How about you, Mr. May?
Well, you know what? I've learned a lot. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's pretty significant. I think one thing that I learned was you have to be responsible for the decisions you make. So make them and then live with that response. Like, don't let circumstances shape your decision making because you don't know what to do. So, I'm juggling these people. You know what? I don't know which one to pick. I'll just let them pick. Don't do that. You need to make your decision and live with your decisions, and then you'll grow from that. If you just freewheel it, you're not going to grow, because then you can always blame it. Well, it didn't work out because this person or she didn't or this and that. But you have to take ownership when you make your own decision.
And and that reminds me of that verse in the Bible about being in bondage. Don't be in bondage. Learn from it and move on. If you stay stuck right there, you'll be right there. Exactly. Trust me. Take it as a learning tool and move forward. It'll benefit you in the end.
Take a moment and like that on Facebook. That was good. That was good. All of those answers were really, really good. Like, seriously, I really appreciate those answers. Ladies, I hope that y'all are taking notes. And some of the things that you all said also go vice versa. There's some of the same things that we said. So we match up on some stuff. We match up on a lot of stuff. Actually, we match up on a lot of stuff. So, another question: How important is it to be a whole person? And this kind of like goes into some of the comments that were said. How important is it to be a whole person before going into a relationship looking for love?
That is tough for me, because I never feel like I'm whole, and I'm a confident person that is enjoying life, and it's good and it's bad, but I'm always feel like I'm willing to learn, and I don't know if that's kind of like different. I'm changing the question or whatever the case, but I'm always willing to evolve and learn. So whole, I don't feel like I'm ever whole. I'm just looking to be more whole as time go on, as the situations I encounter in that way. So me coming into something with everything straight, I don't know. I don't feel that way.
I'll say, like, in terms of the question, I don't mean having everything straight. Like, nobody in the world has everything perfect and straight. I'm gonna let them answer, and then I'll chime in a little bit, and you can circle back if you want to.
That'll work.
I'm sorry. No.
Go ahead. One at a time.
For me, from experience, I can only speak to in terms of maybe mental, emotional health in that regard. I know for me, early on when I started dating, I wasn't dating mainly with like a cause, I can say, or reasoning behind it.
Oh,
you know what I
mean?
Right.
I thought you said a cause.
No. I
was like, brother, you shouldn't be.
And I wonder, really, do you get out of that? Because the situation you leave last, you definitely go to something even the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's how we go. I don't know. That's a hard one right there.
I don't know. So, to that point, for me, just these past few years I've seen in my life where there's some things that God's been trying to do in my life for me to perfect in me, I can say.
Okay.
You know what I mean? One of those things I can say, definitely the vulnerability piece, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
a lot of that I can see with if I perfect that in me or try to get it better, you know what I mean, individually, then it won't be a situation when I'm in a relationship and then it's something, because I feel like relationships only magnify things personally that we were already supposed to get together or at least be working on, you know what I mean? So if we could do our part to get whatever we need to get in order, not perfect, you know what I mean, but just certain stuff that can get in the way, you know what I mean?
Right. What's the question again?
See?
No.
How important? I was about to say a joke. Y'all be too serious. I was about to say a joke about see how men are all on a different track. How important is it to be a whole person before going into a relationship looking for love?
I think that depends on your expectation.
Okay.
If you are expecting a whole person, then you need to be delivering a whole person. If you are expecting that, you know what, I know I'm just out here, whatever, then you should expect at least something equivalent. I don't think it's fair for people to expect in a partner or outside something on the outside that they don't have right on the inside. However, if you're comfortable where you at, and like you said, with vulnerability to say, hey, I'm growing here, and you present that up front, then that gives the other person a chance to say, you know what, I can help you there. Versus if you don't say anything and you bottle it all up, and then now the person finds out and wish, you know what I mean, like it causes other issues that if you were just upfront about it, then it could have been resolved in the beginning.
Yeah.
That right there, and it just shows relationships are hard.
Yeah,
Yes, they
sure.
are.
Because you would think, like you said, your mate is supposed to be your therapist, your this, your that. You know what I mean? You can't say, boy, if you need to go see a therapist, I'm your wife.
Right.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to be able to build you up in those areas, you know, to raise your level. And that's what relationships should be about, raising each other's levels.
Right.
So, I mean, like you said, it's that right there is...
Yeah. And I totally agree with you in terms of the levels. And it kind of like goes into my next question so that y'all can prepare. The next question is, in terms of best friends, like how would you feel about your spouse, girlfriend, having a male as their best friend? But I want to elaborate on what you said. So and tap on what all of you all said. In terms of like whole, as you said, we will never be perfect.
Right.
We're always striving to be a better person. But the thing for me is, everybody has something that is going on with them. So I don't mean be perfect before you come together with a relationship, because as Keith pointed out, when you are in a relationship together, you all should have that relationship where you can come to me and talk about anything, and I mean anything at all. No judgment zone. I'll be honest with you, but it shouldn't be not one thing in the world that you can't work through with your partner. It shouldn't. And if it is something that you feel some type of way or that you don't feel like you can go to that person, I don't think that's like a good relationship.
Right.
Coming from a divorcee, married man, tell us what you tell us.
No, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but your question was looking for. So that means a person is not there. What your answers are, and your comments are more along when a relationship has developed. You know, when you're just going out there and you're talking about vulnerability issues and dealing with meeting people. No one really does that. No one's expecting that as somebody to say, you know what, you're going to be my future therapist, so I'm going to dump all of this on you. That's not how humans interact. Healthy humans, let me put that out there, because some people do lay all their stuff on their sleeve and wonder why they don't ever get no second date. I never heard no men say that.
I definitely don't think that the question, and we actually got this from a male, the question wasn't about like first date or anything. It's actually in a relationship, trying to strengthen it, I should say. Like you're in a relationship and trying to strengthen it. So the thought process is like to be married. It's not like the first date, second date. So I just wanted to clarify that. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to commercial. We're going to have my teammates come back in, and we're going to just have an open dialogue. We're going to go into the battle of the sexes, which is more questions, and then we're going to take questions from our audience. So bring your questions in, and we will go. So let me ask one more, because we got one on this line. Oh, we got a couple. So I'll ask the one from the bottom, and then we'll go to commercial. So how do the guys feel about prenups?
Definitely not.
You don't need one?
For me, it's a no.
Okay.
It's a firm negative. Yeah.
Okay. How about you?
Hey, I ain't do it.
Okay.
That was easy on my part.
I'm not totally against anything. It depends on what your situation is. I'm the type of person now. I'm the type of person now that tell your situation. Based on your situation, you tell it to that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no one way all the time.
Okay. All right, Mr. Flexible.
Yes,
so we
flexible.
are going to go to commercial real quick, and we're going to bring the other ladies in. We'll go back through your questions. Bernie normally does the questions, so we will get to your questions, and then Trina has a little treat for us where we're going to play a little game of Battle of the Sexes. So we'll be back in a minute. Let's do this radio talk show. Have you heard about our new show, Let's Do This? 5 women come together, pouring out their hearts, sharing their experience. The show's primary concept is to provide a platform for business owners and goal-oriented people. We want to get you motivated into moving forward on your dreams and your goals. Yeah, we know there are many things in life that people contribute to holding them back, such as finances, other people, health, family obligations, etc. When in reality, there are not any valid reasons for anyone not fulfilling their dreams. So for those who may need a boost, a push, some motivation, we welcome you to our family. No more deferring your dreams, stalling success, postponing purposes, no excuses. Let's do this. And to advertise your business with us, you can contact us. The advertisement and sponsorship activities start from $60 up to $600. Reach out to us for 60-second ads for $60, 10-minute in-studio advertisement segments for $100, and also you can do takeovers and sponsorship advertising for various pricing. We hope that you reach out. Let's do this. The nonprofit component of Delivering on Ideas and Thoughts, Do It, has launched the I Am the Legacy campaign. This campaign takes the often heard statement, I want to leave a legacy for my children and my children's children, to another level. It encourages us all as a community to invest in our children now and put them on track to start building legacies now. The I Am the Legacy campaign consists of 3 components: a youth business pitch contest, a youth conference and symposium, and a youth anthology book project. To register, sponsor, donate, or volunteer, go to the website www.iamthelegacy.org. That's www.iamthelegacy.org. Follow me, Ladrine Howard Peterson, on Facebook, and Do It Delivers on Instagram. All right, y'all. So we back.
Yes.
I got my girls on to give me some support here.
Yes.
But the men, you all did a great job. So
Yeah, very good.
Yes.
by
Very
all
good
means,
feedback, very good dialogue.
Bernie's going to jump to the questions
All right.
that are on the feed.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
I
we're ready.
have 3 good questions for you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Martisha wanted to know, is there a limit on the number of kids a woman has when dating? Uh-oh. That's painful.
Right, been hearing the size. Come on with it.
Come on, be honest.
That's going to depend on that man, right? Because if he is childless himself, if his premise is, I want to build a family from the jump, then 0 is going to be appropriate for him, most likely. However, he might have a child himself. His perceptions may be different. You may bring all of that to the table, and it is not an issue for him. So that's a very individualistic thing.
So what about you individually?
Me? Mm-hmm. I didn't want that because I wanted to build mine from the start.
Okay.
And and for me, I know when I was younger, in my 20s, 30s, I didn't meet many women with women. So with kids. So I probably did have that prejudice and didn't know. But,
I think we all did.
but no, I have no problem with it. I love people. I love the young adults. Man, their personalities are great. I just love kids.
All right.
love the kids. But
Alonzo, love the kids.
Me being somebody who doesn't have kids, for me, I couldn't exceed 2.
Okay.
That's all. I think that's
Give a number, Alonzo?
Yeah, I gave a number. Anything more than 2.
I think that's good.
That's
I mean,
good.
I like
0,
that.
of course, preferred. But I'm saying I can't exceed.
No more than, not
No
greater
more.
than.
Right.
Okay.
What else we got?
So, Matisha also wanted to know, what are your thoughts on dating outside your race? Good question.
I know for me, I haven't had much experience with that, I will say. But I love my sisters. I got an affinity for my sisters.
Yes.
You know, so I have no problem with it. I'm not even looking outside because I'm fine.
Okay.
All right.
We're talking past tense.
Right now. You can go past and bring it back up. No, we're going right now.
Oh.
You married though, so
Yes.
so before.
Because
you're married,
All
yes.
right. So, dating is getting to know somebody. If you're just, hey, I'm out here enjoying myself, then why not learn things outside of yourself? But I believed that when it came to having a mate, when it came to raising a family, finding a wife, can't nobody do me the same way. You got to be like my mama. You got to be like my mama. That's just the way that is.
Okay, I like that.
Okay, sir. Mr. Sai?
For me, I don't mind.
Okay.
God, He made everybody,
Okay.
different colors, shades, and creeds. So for me, I personally don't mind. But one of the things, but that being said, 90% of my past relationships and dating experience has been, with our sisters. Okay. One of the things my mom told me early on, she said, I don't mind you stepping outside your race, but try home first.
That goes back to that question we had with Curious. Being outside the box.
And I don't discriminate at all. Don't get me wrong. I don't
Right.
discriminate, but my sisters are beautiful and I love them.
Oh,
Okay.
sure.
All right. Okay, lastly, how do you guys feel about prenups? This is coming
That
from
was
the
all
That's that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
going out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Having a
Deborah, they
male friend.
answered that already.
Yeah. So
There we
let's
go.
go back
That's the
to
one, yeah.
okay.
Oh,
They ready for this.
Go ahead.
So y'all know we talked about that from a woman's
last show.
standpoint on the last show. So now we want to hear from the men. How would you feel, or is it acceptable for your wife or your spouse, significant other, to have a best friend of the opposite sex?
So was he a best friend before we met, or a best friend like currently?
You
While
can
we married?
go with both.
whatever the
Go with
situation
both
is,
of them.
yeah.
We went with both of the scenarios,
Right.
but that's a very good question. He over here talking about his breath. He can't wait to go. Oh, I better not have no one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, for me, definitely confidence showed on who I am. All that good stuff.
Okay.
But for me, I think it goes back to the example that was set for me. My parents have been married for 30 some odd years.
Okay.
So that example for me, while my dad, he has, one of his female friends is my godmother. They've been knowing each other for years.
Okay.
My mom, she has her friends or whatever. But in terms of best friends, they're each other's best friends.
There you
Come on
go.
now.
So for me, that's the way I look at it.
The next best friend.
Okay.
Next best
okay.
friend,
The
different.
next best
That's a
friend.
different story.
All right. How
All
about
right.
you, sir?
Well,
Mister.
you got to define what best friend is. What does that mean? This best friend got we can call whatever. Let me get my language right. Let me get my language right. My thing is, listen, we all have past, right? So you can have a next door neighbor you grew up with your whole life, and that has been your best friend. But once you are married, you shouldn't even qualify or classify this person anymore as your best friend. This is now my childhood friend, one of my best friends,
Okay.
but not my best friend, because what does that mean? Like what am I? Well,
Okay.
you that, but not.
Okay, so let's take it a little bit deeper. So I get that, and I definitely respect in terms of now you become that best friend, right? So
One will hope, yeah.
Yes. So in terms of you placing the parameters, so what are the parameters?
The parameters would be, number one, respect.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
do not ask of me something that you could not take yourself. Could I have a female best friend? that could call when she feel, or I click off of your call because so and so calling. You know what I mean? So as long as you can take and we find a compromise in there, then it's up between us. So, but for a man, respect is always paramount.
Yeah. Okay.
When you choose him over me, then what are you really saying?
Yeah, and you shouldn't choose your best friend, even if it's a female or a male, over your best friend's spouse.
Yeah, and I respect what he's saying totally, but Mr. Flexible right here, I have no problem with it. I have confidence I would have confidence in my relationship. I wouldn't allow my best friend as a female to be pushed to the side, like you said, respectfully. But if that is your best friend, I wouldn't try to take that away from you or anything at all, man. Enjoy that, and I respect it just like, he's my best friend.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead with Trina and her question.
Yeah, I have
So the battle of the sexes. So we're going to see how the women take it, how the men take it, and how we answer it. Let's go.
Now, I noticed in the segment you all had, you mentioned, what's your name back there? Alonzo. There you go, Alonzo. You mentioned vulnerability, right? Vulnerability can be a good and bad thing. Right. Break it down, how it can be used in both. What's your take on both, with it being a good thing and a bad thing?
Oh, definitely. I would say a bad thing, for sure. You on the first date, and, all of a sudden, she inquire about your life, all this different type of stuff, and you open up about past relationships, you break down, cry, and all that nonsense. That's definitely, the negative regard.
Okay.
For me, the positive side is when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to, you think about intimacy, you're supposed to be into, your girl.
Okay.
So to that regard, a lot of times when it comes to pride as men, if we're not open to being vulnerable in terms of, not saying breaking down and crying or whatnot, but just telling the things that, we may go through. That's written on the walls of our heart. A lot of times, women, they think that we're not thinking about something, or that, this is such as that. A lot of times, 99.9% of the time, it's going like this in our head. But for us, I think the difference for women, their outlet is talking about it. For us, we're here most of the time.
Thinking it.
So by the time I get to a point where I muster up enough courage to talk about whatever it is, it's a big deal for me. So I would say that in regards to that vulnerability.
So thumbs up, thumbs down for vulnerability, or you like, it depends on where you are?
No, I think across the board, though, it's definitely thumbs up. Okay. Because you have to be honest with yourself first.
Yeah. I agree.
So it starts there.
Yeah, I agree with everything that he said, and it depends on your phase of the relationship. Definitely on the first date, you can't just go in there like, oh, it's we, and break it down. Right. But I'm telling you, like, in a relationship with someone, I feel strongly about being able to openly talk about anything, about anything.
Right.
That's a good thing to do. When you with somebody that you can say anything to, and it may sound a little disrespectful, but when you at that point, you home. Trust me, you home.
That's a beautiful thing.
You home. When you gotta hold it inside and can't share your thoughts or how you feel, that becomes a struggle. But that freedom matters.
It does.
That freedom matters.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to that chemistry thing.
Okay.
Attraction. I noticed you all, those were key points with you guys with the attraction. Give us a little bit on that with the attraction, the chemistry. Can you be attracted to someone you don't have a chemistry with?
Oh, for sure.
So you can't be attracted with someone you don't have a chemistry with. It's all
visual. So, when we see you first, we don't have no chemistry, but you look good. You look good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Chemistry comes after the fact. I'm having a conversation with you, and I'm like, oh, so you're more than just what I see. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, no, I mean, of course, like, don't get me wrong. The attraction of the eye is like the first thing that you see, but it's just like he's handsome, he's well dressed. But in terms of even talking or connecting, it is definitely chemistry for me. It's definitely chemistry for me. That goes to the whole aspect of me saying being able to talk about and being open. I need somebody that I can like engage with. So looks, I like a nice looking fella.
But the chemistry
is
the icing on the cake
for me.
Yeah.
Bernie, you quiet over there. What you
What's
doing?
going on down there? What's going on?
What's happening over there? It look like a tear about to come out.
Bottom lip shaking and everything.
What's going on, Bern?
Am I hearing you correctly? So what if you with someone that you don't? Are you saying that you can only be with someone that has chemistry? You have chemistry with?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think all couples.
Right.
I don't think all couples have that chemistry.
Yes.
They may have an attraction,
Right.
for whatever. Like they broke down smartness. They broke down a lot of little, qualities.
That's why I was lost.
But I think, like Myra said, chemistry.
Yeah,
She has not been able to explain it. That's the love expert that comes on our show.
Yeah.
She has not been able to explain the chemistry
Because
to
you
us.
can't.
But she
Because
went
it's
deeper.
it's
It's
something you
connections.
can't explain.
She went deeper into the chemistry and like so that was a whole different show.
Like that goes to
that's
show
more
you.
so in terms of what she said is you used to talk to somebody. They went on to get married. You went on to get married. You see each other later on, and that feeling is still there, and or you have somebody that you're connected with, and no matter what. It's nothing that you can do about it, no matter how hard you try.
So this is my thing about chemistry, right? Because I use that in making the decisions that I made when I became interested in my wife. So I use the analogy of chemistry, right? Science. So when you have sodium, which is Na, right, and you have chlorine, which is Cl.
Take a sign. Take us to school.
You need 10 more minutes on the set.
Whenever you blend them, you get salt. You can't blend them and get water. You can't blend them and get nothing else but salt. That's what that chemistry gets out of it. And my thing is, chemistry is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. So people can be attracted. You can like somebody. It has nothing to do with chemistry.
Right.
Yes.
I can like the same movie as you, and we don't have chemistry. And all chemistry is not good.
Oh,
Yes.
You can have
Some
chemistry.
chemistry is dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to be able to quantify for yourself what is important for you.
Right.
Because if you know that you have some proclivities that do not benefit you,
Right.
and you have chemistry with an individual that makes those things more enhanced that are not healthy for you, then that's not a healthy chemistry.
There you go.
Exactly.
But you got to know you in order to know when that chemistry is there. I knew me. I saw what I saw. And we actually, my situation I always get ragged on because we were friends for years before, and we weren't even interested in becoming in a relationship. That wasn't the goal. We were actually co-workers, and we just got along. We had a chemistry. We had a rapport, but there was no interest in it going any further than that. And then time did what it did, and life does what it does. But when the door opened up, I knew already. I was like, because that's the kind of person.
That was chemistry. That was chemistry.
That's
From the beginning, you might have called it something else, but you connected. And even though that wasn't your intent,
connection.
like I go,
it was there.
I go in without the intent, and then you be like, whoa, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. So it was chemistry.
You just have
man.
to maintain it, control it, make make the right decisions. So that there would be a good chemistry and not a bad.
And something and
got
what
something?
you looking for.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he explained
You
it.
hit
very-
everything.
Yeah.
You
He
did.
explained
You
it very
did. You
well.
hit
I mean,
everything.
but as he pointed out in short, having chemistry in those things that are important to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you got those other things that aren't as important, you can get past them. And but you know what I like to ask too and put on the floor is dating when you're older and trying to connect with somebody when you're older when you have more wisdom, more understanding. You can point out stuff
Experiences.
and how that bothers you when everything you see or you can recognize everything and it never allows you to connect. Because you know when you're young, you're naive. You can jump into something and you end up in it before and deal with everything and learn on the fly. But when you're older, it's very tough when you can identify some things.
It is. But
Bird be like this, do.
It's very tough. It's very tough, but it's a level of maturity.
It is.
And how you were saying before, you might have jumped into anything. You're very particular and you're very specific. You are more inclined to land into a relationship that's going to give you what you want and what you need versus jumping and being like, oh, all right, like somebody was saying, like you go here, you go there, and that, like you are older, like you don't have time to be playing around and doing that anymore.
No.
Like, and that's so my thing, so my thing, like. Yeah, dime a dozen. We get like indecent proposals and everything.
I just got a comment that came in. It says in the show, what do men want? They want to hear your takeaways from the movie. or I guess hear your takeaways from the men, what a man wants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give us some takeaways what a man wants. Or is
I did go see the movie.
Okay.
It was a good movie. Taraji did her thing.
Okay.
Relative to the show, I think the reality side of it, you know, is you kind of got to get away from the movie. But one thing that did pop out to me was the aggressiveness of Taraji. You know what I'm saying? And
overall or in the bedroom?
In the bedroom.
Okay.
But even overall, you know what I mean? Right. So that part did point out to me, but I haven't dealt with that too much.
I mean, was that good or bad?
Was it attractive or what? We want to know. So should we be in this room choking people or what?
It was interesting. It's not my thing, but it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about when she transitioned? Because at first it was just like crazy, but when she was in his thoughts, at the end of it, they fast forward a lot, but at the end, how they both seemed satisfied, and he was like, "Whoa!" And when he walked off, he said something, gave her like big kudos when he got up and walked away.
I don't remember that part.
So before
He was asleep.
That's what I'm saying. You
Right.
Before we go off, one of the viewers, Zandra Hall, wants to know. You all said confidence. You like, I guess, confidence in a woman. Can you go into that really quickly?
I mean, confidence for anyone is attractive.
Yeah.
That's automatic. And for me, like I said, when you're in a relationship, when you can say what you want and you can tell your girl, look, you're getting a little too chunky, you know, and play with them in that way, and you only, you know, you're being truthful, but at the same time you're playing, you know, but she got to have that confidence to be able to get past that. But you say nice things too, like you still do it for me. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Those kind of things. So you get both of them, but sometimes they point on the negative side.
Let the guys. Do y'all have anything to add to that?
Yeah, definitely. Just being assured in yourself, knowing who and whose you are. Not looking for a man to better you, but you know, you both coming to the table and you trying to make some magic happen. Right. So that's the big thing.
That's it.
Come on, magic.
It's magic.
My thing is to somewhat piggyback on what they both said, so there must be some truth to it, right? Because they said something similar is be confident and comfortable in your own skin. You should be able to look in the mirror and find everything you want in there. Because if you can find what you want in that mirror, then you can go out and say, okay, I need this to compliment me, or I like this to compliment me. I know what I have to offer. That's underneath the mask, behind the makeup, underneath the hair, behind the clothes. I got something. Comfortable and confident.
It's burning to my left.
Come on, we got come back over this way.
With confidence come experience. It comes, and then even with they spoke about daddy issues.
Yeah.
You know, you raised a certain way. You may not be raised with that confidence. But that woman may have other areas that's on point. So that confidence is something she may have to build up with her experiences, with her lifetime. So how does being confident wholeheartedly disqualifies a woman? And it depends on where she's been, her past, what she's been through. It's not saying she can't obtain her confidence. But if that's one area that she may be lacking, and she has it in so many other areas, why does that disqualify?
So I'm not saying it's not a disqualifier.
Okay.
But the same example you just gave, you should be able to know that about yourself. Right. That's why I said be comfortable with who you are in the mirror.
Oh, so that's
I'll give you a good example right now. So my wife has said, she's like, you know, I struggle with speaking out.
Okay.
So I knew that, so I encourage her to do that. I don't see that as a weakness.
Right.
You know, especially if you're like, hey, I want to improve here.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so you know they be coming to the window giving us a little countdown. So I have 3 gifts for my women.
Oh, wow.
So basically, when we talked about it the last time, we did a list: God-fearing, honest, protector, humble, satisfying sexually, respectful, conversationalist, support of success, no jealousy, a friend first, and chivalry, courting. Those were our top 3. So I found y'all the perfect man. So here y'all go. Here y'all go right here. And y'all can have
protector.
Do what you want to him.
the rest of y'all can have some candy at the end of the show.
This my protector.
Very quickly, I want to know if y'all have any questions. But what I'll say, just to let y'all know, next up, we're going to be talking about integrity versus money, and then upcoming show later on in March. We're going to be talking about breaking away healthy. We was actually going to do it at the end of it, but it's like life after separation and life after divorce. We didn't want to end this note on that. So we'll be talking about that. We have a divorce expert that will coming back, and we'll be doing an author's takeover. So we'll be doing calls for authors. But like real quick, because they're going to come and give us the boot. Question. Do y'all have a question for the ladies? Or a comment. Question or a comment.
My comment is this. We all know as men, women are very emotional. And for me, I kind of stay here while this happens right here.
Okay.
If women, if you can take anything, if you can control that emotional side and kind of get in tune with that more straight line, and I know it's hard because that's just how y'all made up. I think it would benefit the situation as a whole so much better.
Okay.
Too emotional.
Too emotional.
Okay.
Are we asking a question?
No, you just giving us something. Takeaway comment.
Actually, just do a takeaway. That's all we have time for.
Takeaway. Well, I think the best takeaway I have, it kind of goes with the theme about what men want is the best you. So work on being the best you, and you'll get the man who wants you.
Okay.
Okay. What you got back?
For me, I would say trust your gut, trust your instinct. Oftentimes, we stay in situations that are poisonous only because we think he'll come around or you think he gonna love you. Nah, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Go with that and never lie to you.
Yeah, and gut, it's like a women's intuition. That's a powerful, magical thing that y'all don't know about. But that's a powerful, magical thing that we have. But y'all need to use it. Like he said, trust your gut. Use your women's intuition. It tells you everything up front.
Yes.
Use your brain too.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So it's been a fantastic show. We got to make room for the next people to come up, but put your questions in the feed, and men, y'all go back and answer some questions if they come up. And if y'all have any questions, dip it in. But like we do at the end of the show, can we? Shall we? We each one take one of their hands. We gonna need y'all. Can we? We gonna need you. Just take lead.
Hold on. We gotta get them in here.
Okay.
Okay. Get your hand.
How we do it?
And then we're gonna do a poll to see if we want our fellas to come back. If we want the men to come back.
So we gotta get out the studio right now. So can we? Shall we? Let's do it! Great show, guys. So he'll come in, take pictures, and we'll go out.
I got a question.